The alarm clock went off at 4:30 a.m. with the precision of an ancient ritual. Peter switched it off before it could disturb Anna, still sleeping beside him. The two-bedroom flat on the third floor smelled of fresh tea and newly baked bread, aromas that had become the scent of his new life. While the kettle whistled in the tiny kitchen, he looked at the photos on the fridge. Rafe smiling in the park, Anna hugging him on their wedding anniversary, the selfie in the car on his first day as a driver. Images of a happiness that didn't need to be grand to be true. "Morning, love," Anna appeared in the kitchen, already dressed for school. She kissed his cheek, still marked by the pillow. "I dreamt we found that ginger tomcat again, remember?" Peter smiled. The ginger cat was a legend between them. It appeared in their dreams whenever something good was coming. While driving through the still dark streets, Peter listened to the radio, whispering news of the world. His 2018 blue Hyundai had become his office, his sanctuary, his observatory of other people's lives. In the back seats, he had carried stories, some happy, some sad, most as ordinary as his own. At 7 a.m., Peter stopped in front of Carl's bakery. The ritual was unchanging: 2 warm bloomer loaves, one with butter for Anna, one plain for Rafe, and tea in his thermos flask. "Got a special order today," Carl announced, handing over a parcel with a sweet smell. Lemon drizzle cake. "It's Mrs. Martha's birthday today." Peter made a mental note. Stop by the florist after the morning school run. At 7:30 a.m., he helped Rafe get dressed for school. Every button on the shirt was an achievement, every tied shoelace a victory. His son had the meticulous patience he himself was learning to cultivate. "Daddy, is there football today?" Rafe asked while putting on his trainers. "Not today, son. It's Friday. Pizza and film night, remember?" The smile he received in return was worth more than any profit he had ever made in his old business. While waiting for passengers in the morning traffic, he mentally calculated the month's bills. The overdue rent, Rafe's therapy, the trainers Anna needed to replace. His hands, once used to signing important checks, now counted coins for the car park. Peter had learned that there are 2 economies, one of money and one of affection. In the first, he had gone bankrupt. In the second, he was growing richer daily. But there were other accounts that didn't appear on his bank statement. Rafe's smile when he saw him arrive home, plus 100, Anna's hug after a difficult day, plus 200. The gratitude in Mrs. Martha's eyes when he drove her to the GP, plus 500. In this alternative economy, he was a millionaire. One morning, Peter picked up a different passenger. A woman in her 50s, dressed in discreet elegance, got into the car crying silently. "To Heathrow, please," she said with a choked voice. In the standstill traffic, she began to speak, perhaps relieved by the anonymity cars provide. "My son is leaving today. He got a job in Canada." Peter maintained the silence he knew was more valuable than any advice. "It's a brilliant opportunity," she continued, dabbing her tears. "But who will help me with the pans on the top shelf? Who will laugh at my rubbish jokes?" When she got out, she left behind not only the payment but a note. "Thank you for listening. Sometimes we need to confess our selfish happiness to strangers." Peter kept the note in the glove compartment, where he collected fragments of other people's lives. Friday, 6:30 p.m. The flat smelled of homemade pizza and popcorn. It was family film night, a tradition born from necessity that had turned into a treasure. While Anna prepared the pizza, Peter arranged the cushions on the sofa. Rafe chose the film with the seriousness of a cinema critic. "It's my turn today," he announced, holding up The Lion King. Anna and Peter exchanged a smile. It was the 10th time that month. As Simba sang Hakuna Matata, Peter watched his family illuminated by the bluish light of the television. There was a perfection in that ordinary moment that no professional success could ever match. Later, tucking Rafe into bed, his son whispered, "Daddy, are you happy?" The simple question hit him like a revelation. "Yes, son. Very happy." "Me too," Rafe said, closing his eyes. Saturday morning, while fixing the kitchen tap, Peter heard a knock at the door. It was Carl, the baker, with a bag of still warm cheese scones. "Thought you might need some reinforcements," he said, placing the bag on the table. "Anna told me about the tap." As they ate, Carl talked about his own downfall. "Lost everything in the divorce, Peter. The bakery was ours, she kept it. Started over at 40. Sometimes starting over is just remembering you've been strong before." That afternoon, Mrs. Martha appeared with mint tea from her makeshift herb garden on the balcony. "For the fixer," she said with a mischievous smile. Peter realized he had built something his previous bankruptcies couldn't destroy: a community. Sunday afternoon, while helping Anna fold the laundry, she took his hand. "It's different," she said, examining his calloused palms. "But I prefer these hands. They tell true stories." Peter laughed. "Stories of steering wheels and clutches. Stories of honest work," she corrected. "Of someone who doesn't give up." Later, watching Rafe play in the park, Anna whispered, "You know I wouldn't trade this life for any other, right?" He knew. And for the first time, he wouldn't either. A rainy Tuesday. Passenger after passenger, story after story, an intern nervous for his first job interview. A woman in labor, he made it to the hospital in record time. An elderly man going to visit his wife's grave. Every journey was a lesson. From the intern, the courage to begin from the pregnant woman, trust in strangers from the elderly man, fidelity that outlives death. Peter began to see his work not as a broken rung on his career ladder, but as a traveling university of the human condition. Thursday, 2:23 p.m. His mobile rang. It was Rafe's school. "Mr. Peter, Rafe has a temperature. Can you come collect him?" He canceled his jobs and went. He found his son looking pale in the medical room. "Daddy, you came," whispered Rafe, hugging him. At home while Rafe slept, Peter sat by the bed, dabbing his forehead with a cool cloth. Anna came home early from school, bringing soup and stories to tell. That evening, the three of them had dinner on Rafe's bed, watching cartoons. It was a break in routine that felt like a privilege, not an inconvenience. Friday again. A month had passed since the beginning of our story. Peter parked in front of his building but didn't get out immediately. He looked up at flat 302, its lights on, the shadows of Anna and Rafe moving behind the curtains. He remembered his previous life, the office with the city view, the expensive dinners, the important meetings. It all seemed so distant and empty compared to the wealth that now inhabited that simple flat. He climbed the stairs. The lift was broken again, and upon opening the door, was greeted by the smell of homemade pizza and the hugs of his family. "Daddy, guess what?" Rafe pulled his hand. "The Ginger Tom." He appeared on Mrs. Martha's balcony. Anna smiled, her eyes shining. "It's true. She said we can visit him tomorrow." As they sat down for another film night, Peter realized he had discovered the secret so many search for. Happiness lies not in the grandeur of life, but in the depth with which we live the ordinary. Success wasn't a destination, but the quality of the journey. And that night, with his family squeezed onto the small sofa, the sound of rain tapping against the window pane, and the Ginger Tom waiting to be met, Peter knew he had found everything he needed. Epilogue. 1 year later, the blue Hyundai was still on the road, but it now carried a different man. Peter had started a podcast recorded in his car, Stories from the Front Seat, where he shared the lessons learned from his passengers. Rafe now had a ginger tomcat named Simba. Anna had been promoted to key stage coordinator. And Mrs. Martha? She had become the honorary grandmother of everyone in the building. Life remained ordinary, but profoundly extraordinary. Because Peter had learned that true wealth is not in what we possess, but in what we wouldn't trade for anything. And on Friday nights, with homemade pizza and repeated films, they celebrated the resilient beauty of simple things, the only ones that truly matter at the end of the journey. Thank you so much for reading this far. Please consider subscribing to our channel.